Welcome back to Magic Tarot Cards. It's Jasmine. We're going to do part 2 of Kata Scott. So, on the news, they confirmed that the body they found was hers. Okay, but me, myself, I feel like other people were involved. And I'm sure by now everybody's watched the story or the video of that girl, Gabby, that was Keon's friend. I watched it, and I have to tell you, I don't believe a word of it. I don't believe nothing that girl said. Nothing. There's allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, but what I can see, there is no truth. No truth to her story. None. Okay. I'm just going to put that out there. If you watch this, little girl, I don't care if you get upset. I am a psychic medium, and I already see a whole bunch of stuff. And you're about to get exposed, okay? Look at that. The tower. You're gonna have a tower moment. You're gonna have a tower moment because truths are about to spill out. We are in the Mercury retrograde energy. Okay, it starts on November 9th, but the energy of it starts 2 weeks before the retrograde starts. Mercury retrograde brings truths. It brings secrets out. Secrets out that you think are buried, that no one's ever going to find out. It brings truths out. Number one, I'm a psychic medium. I know when someone's lying, when someone's telling the truth. And I listened to that story of that girl, Gabby. I didn't see no truth to it. And this is coming from me, my thoughts. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm not saying that the story isn't true. But what I can see in my mind with my spirits talking to me, I didn't believe a word she said. Okay. Here, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to pull some cards. There it is. That's just what I was going to say. Lover's card. The Lover's card. Allegedly, and I was just going to say this before this card even popped up. Allegedly, Gabby and that Keon allegedly were that. Or she was interested in him that way, or maybe they had dabbled in, a little, and when he showed interest, allegedly, in Kata, I feel like she got extremely jealous. Extremely jealous. Okay, because she wanted him for herself. So, I thought about this all day. This came to me during the daytime. It came to me. And I thought, you know what? That story that she told, in my mind, is crap. I don't believe nothing that she said. What I can see in my mind, what Spirit is telling me, allegedly, they might have dabbled in being lovers, or maybe had the sex, or maybe she liked them and wanted to. Something to that effect. She was jealous of Kata because he showed a lot of interest in her. So something's not right there. Okay, something's not right there. That was number one. I've been thinking about this all day. All day. Now, today, I meditated a lot. And I was trying to contact Kata's spirit. And what I could feel from her and her spirit is she was crying a whole lot. She was crying. Her spirit is crying. Okay. She has crossed over to the other side. That's why I got the Hangman in my first reading, which I'm sure all y'all that have seen it can already know. I explained that that's when someone crosses over to the other side. That's why I already knew she had passed. But I left it as a maybe since they didn't have no evidence. I said, well, maybe she has. I'm going to leave it as maybe she has, maybe she hasn't. But in my mind, I knew she had because I got the Hangman. The Hangman is when you've already crossed over to the light, to the other side. Okay. But her spirit today was in turmoil. Her spirit was in turmoil. She was crying. It was crying. I could feel every bit of it. I was at work and I was on the computer and I literally had to stop because the energy of it, because I was concentrating, as I was on my computer, I was concentrating on her, in my mind, trying to contact her. And I was overwhelmed with her tears, with the grief that she feels. It was overwhelming. I had to stop, get a tissue, wipe my eyes, because I could feel exactly what she was feeling. And it was horrible. Okay. And then the nurse that was sitting next to me, she was like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, nothing. I'm just thinking about something." I was overwhelmed with what she feels. Because remember, I'm a psychic medium, so I feel what they feel. Okay. When I contact them, I feel what they feel. Her parents are in extreme grief. It's so overwhelming for them. Oh my God. It is this boy. I'm telling you, he's going to burn in hell. He's going to burn in hell. And the person that was involved, which I honestly, allegedly think is Gabby, because I see two other people that are involved that knew about either what he was going to do to her, or maybe I almost feel like they kind of talked him into it, or allegedly, or they might have mentioned something like that, or maybe they said something to the effect to where maybe they told a lie to him and made her look like, how you say, like she was either talking about him, he needed to go get her, something to that effect is what I'm seeing. So they planted things in his head. He's already crazy anyway, okay? He's already a psychopath anyway, allegedly. So it didn't take much to plant something in his head. Okay, this is what Spirit is telling me. I don't care if anybody gets mad at this video. If they watch it, I don't care. I don't care if you get mad, because you know what you've done. You that are involved, you know what you've done. The truth is going to surface, okay? Never have I been wrong, not once in my life. I've been a psychic medium for all my life, 40 plus years. Never have I been wrong, not one time, okay? So the truth is going to surface. Give it some time, because truths come out. There's a scripture in the Bible that says truth always comes out. Truth will be revealed. God doesn't let things stay hidden, especially if it's a bad thing. God's not going to let that stay hidden. It comes out. It comes to the light. It doesn't matter who you are, famous, not famous, big, small, whatever. If you're doing something in secret, it's going to come out. Okay? Karma catches up with you. Whether you like it, you don't like it, you believe in it, don't believe in it. You can run, you can hide, but you can't hide forever, because karma comes back. Okay? And this is what's going to happen with these two people that are also involved. All right? The police are putting things together, and they already know a whole lot. They might have not said a lot yet, but they already know a whole lot. Now, when she was taken, I see that he took her someplace. They said on the news that she died within 20 minutes of being with him. I don't believe that either, because I see her in a place where he had her that was kind of dark, maybe in that school, in one of those rooms. I feel like he had her there, like just for a little while, maybe an hour, less than an hour. And then he took her out. That's why that card I got, I think it was the 9 of Swords or something like that, or the 8 of Swords, came up in the reverse. Let's see if I can find it here. It came up in the reverse because it's the person that's laying in the bed, crying, sad, depressed, and the swords are around them because they're imprisoned. Okay, and that's how she felt. She felt imprisoned, crying, sadness, everything that she heard is right here. So this is the 9 of Swords. You see how the person is crying, sad, depressed, the darkness, okay? They're wearing white because they know their new beginning is not coming. But for her, it was in the reverse, okay? What this card was telling me at the time is that the place that he had her she was no longer there. And then I said in my reading, I see her in a small box or small compartment, maybe a small area. I almost thought at first that she was in the back of the trunk, or in a small place. So what it turned out to be, it was the shallow grave. Okay, this turned out to be the shallow grave that he put her in. Now, if she was just her body laying in the dirt, I don't know, or maybe he wrapped her in something and put her there. They haven't really explained that yet. So she's crossed over. She's crossed over into the light. She's moving towards the light. But she's not going to fully get there until there's justice. Okay, there needs to be justice for her to move further into the light. But she's already crossed over. What I'm feeling from her is extreme sadness. Extreme sadness. Sad because her life is gone. Sad because someone took her life. Sad, crying. A lot of crying, tears. You know, your soul can cry still in tears. You still feel stuff because you haven't gone to heaven yet. You're in a waiting place. So the soul still feels things. Okay. What bothers me is that even though he has a 2-point-something million bond, they still give him a bond. Really? Now, in Gabby's video, she said he was a pharmacist. That boy ain't no pharmacist. He's 21 years old. You know how long it takes to go to pharmacy school? Line number one. He's not a pharmacist. He might have worked at a pharmacy, but he's not a pharmacist. Please. That was one of the biggest lies that I've heard somebody tell in a long time. I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel. Allegedly. It amazes me how people try to, when someone's guilty of something, the more you try to explain, the guiltier you look. Okay? When you're guilty of whatever it is that you're doing, and then you try to explain, well, this and that, and I'm not this and I'm not that, and I don't do this and I don't do that. All you do is hanging yourself. You're making yourself look guilty, guiltier, and you're exposing yourself. Okay? Sometimes I wonder why guilty people don't just stay quiet. But they don't because of guilt. And they feel like, well, if I just say this, that, I can clear my name. No. You make yourself look worse. You make yourself look more guilty. And I feel like nobody's going to believe the story that Gabby says. Nobody. I'm sorry, but to me, that story is full of crap. And if you watch this story, Miss Gabby girl, whoever you are, and if it pisses you off, I don't care. I really don't care. This is just my opinion from my psychic experience, from what Spirit is telling me. I don't believe a word she said. Okay, there will be justice. That boy is not getting out anytime soon. And I call him a boy because he's young. I feel like he's a psychopath. You know, he's done other stuff before. Why he's out roaming around, I don't know. He shouldn't be. There's also another video surfacing about him where he comes to some girl's window and she calls the police. And he looks like a nut. He's wearing a black jacket. I think it was on TikTok. And he jumps over a fence and he makes the stance like he's Superman or somebody. And then he comes towards the window and he peeps in. And the girl's saying, call the police, call the police. And he goes to every window and door checking to see how he can get in. That's a psychopath. That's a nut. Psychopath. I mean, what else? What other word is there for him? You know, people that stalk are psychopaths. People that harass are psychopaths. Trolls are psychopaths. You know, normal people don't do that. Normal people don't call you every day, bother you every day, talk about you every day. Only a psychopath does that. Some psychopaths don't even know they're psychopaths. Anyway, let's do a read real quick. I just have to say that. I worked my 12-hour shift today. Then I went to dance practice because we're doing a show this weekend. I have so much going on this weekend. I got a dance show, a Halloween party. I got the drum circle. I mean, there's so much going on that I got to do. Yeah. Tower moment. Look at that. Tower moment. Lovers. Lovers. They knew about this already. They conspired. It was a conspiracy. Conspired. I feel like they conspired together. Allegedly. It's going to take the parents a while to get over this. It's going to take them a long time. Well, there's the boy in prison. I'm seeing he's going to get many years, but there's a judge out there somewhere that's too lenient, and they might reduce his sentence to 9 to 10 years, and the people are going to have a fit about that. Or she might have quit him. I don't think so, but she might have quit him. He's a psychopath. I'm seeing psychopath tendencies in him. Will there be justice? Yeah, there'll be justice. What else do you see for any messages from Kata Scott? Kata Scott. Only Kata Scott come through. Only Kata Scott come through. She said the travel didn't go well. The travel, I'm assuming that it was in the car. The car. No, car. Yeah, the car. She didn't have victory. There was no victory. Hold on. I just heard a terrible noise. Okay. Yeah, see, he kept offering her love, this cup of love or attention or something. She didn't want it. She didn't want to have nothing to do with him. Nothing at all. Nothing. Nothing at all. He threatened her. I'm hearing that he threatened her, like he threatened her family. He told her, I'm going to kill your family. I'm going to do this to them, that to them, or maybe to your sister or something like that made her go. It made her go, maybe to quiet him down. She didn't think that she was going to meet her demise. She did not think that. She knew that he wasn't all there, that he was kind of dangerous, but she did not think that he would do what he did to her. Did he SA her? Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. But I'm feeling that he did it after her spirit left her body. I don't feel like he did it while she was alive. I feel like he caused her demise, and then I feel like he essayed her before he put her in that grave. That's a horrible thing, I know, but that's what I'm seeing. He's a monster. He don't deserve his life, actually. Too bad they don't give him that electric chair. That's where he needs to be, in the electric chair. What else do you see? Any more messages? Any more messages? She said she was at a crossroads. She was at a crossroads when it pertained to him. She is saying that she told her parents or told somebody that she was being stalked, but it seemed like no one really took it serious. So she felt a lot of turbulence from this person. She was at a crossroads with it, meaning she wasn't quite sure what to do about it. Like, she wasn't sure. Like, it just wasn't sure. Like, she didn't know, should I turn him in? Should I call the cops? Maybe that might make it worse. I'm kind of feeling like she became afraid, and she thought to herself, well, if I call the cops, this is going to aggravate him even more. So that kept her from reporting it to the police. I feel like if she had reported it to the police, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Yeah. If your kids come to you and tell you they're being stalked or followed, you need to listen. Like, really dig into it. Dig into it. See what's going on. Liar. He was a liar. See, but truths came out. This is a person that's a liar. Thief. They tell you what they're telling everybody else. But they leave evidence behind. And then in the reverse, the evidence comes out. Evidence is found. Truths are known with this in the reverse. And that's him. He carries a sword energy. Very terrible person. I feel like she won't rest until either the trial is over, but even then, I feel like she won't rest until they find out the real truth about who else helped him or set her up. I feel like this was a setup, but not really by him, but by these other two people. I feel like he was almost talked into what he did. Or ideas put in his head is what I'm hearing, that made him make that decision. I don't know how to explain it to you. I feel like someone, okay, he's a psychopath, so it takes very little to trigger him. And I feel like things were said to him to trigger his mind, and then when he went over there, that happened. But I feel like somebody else put things in his head and triggered him to a way that he would, do this. It's hard to explain. Very hard to explain. But I think y'all know what I mean. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to stop here. I'm hearing that she's being called to the light. She's being called to the light, but she's crossed over, but she's still in stagnation. She's in stagnation because, justice has to come first. So she's not fully there. I feel like she's in between. She's in between. There's an in between. I'm hearing that word in between. Until justice comes, then I feel like she'll fully cross over to the other side. She's extremely sad, crying. Her spirit is very, very sad. She had a whole lot to live for, She wasn't expecting this to happen to her at all. She thought in her mind, that she would live for a very long, long time. She had a lot more to do in her lifetime. Her life was robbed from her, taken from her. She says it's not fair. I'm hearing not fair. Yeah, I'm hearing the word not fair, over and over, not fair. No, life is not fair. But rest assured that God is in control. God has the final say-so. People always think that they can get away with stuff. See, this is what gets me here on earth. People that just because they got free will, freedom of speech or whatever, they think they can get away with whatever they doing, whatever they're saying. It doesn't work that way. Okay, because even though you got freedom of speech, there's someone higher than that, and that's God. He's not going to let you continue to do bad things without suffering the consequences. Okay? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And for instance, look at what happened to Charlie Kirk. His mouth was bad. Constantly talking about the black people. Talk. So always saying something bad. How did he get it? He got it in the throat. And that's what I'm talking about, karma. That's what I'm talking about when God comes back to get you, okay? You live by the sword, you die by the sword. So he got it in the throat. He went in through close to his temple, straight down through the throat, out the other way. Silenced him. God can silence you at any time. Doesn't matter who you are. He's the most powerful being on this earth. There's nothing he can't do. And when he gets ready to silence you, he will. Okay? I believe that God gives people many chances to change. But if you don't and you continue on a path of destruction, then he comes in and silences you. And I feel like that's what happened to Charlie Kirk. I feel like he got silenced because he wouldn't shut his mouth. He would not shut his mouth. Constantly, oh, the black people this and the black people that and blah, 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 blah. Those are God's children. God created everybody. Okay? He didn't just create the white people. He created black people. He created Asians. He created Mexicans. He created everybody. So you think that he's going to let one man talk about his people like that continuously? Because that's what he was doing. God silenced him. Okay, so what are you doing that you need to be silenced for? Let's just ask that question. For some of y'all out there, is there something you're doing that you shouldn't be doing, that God needs to silence you? Be careful. Be careful. Because you can't mess with him. You can't mess with God. Okay? I'm going to end this video. There was just things I wanted to say about this. I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more as the story unfolds. But I am saying this, that she is extremely, very sad about losing her life. She's extremely sad at what happened. She wants the truth to be real because the whole truth has not come out. Not yet, anyway. So, we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you want that personal rating, text me. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.